Hello. Wanted to give you a few instructions on the COVID project. So in Canvas, you'll see this is due on Saturday, May 2nd at 11:59 p.m. However, I know I'm only giving you a week to do this. So if you need some extra time, feel free to take it. As long as you submit it to me in Canvas by Tuesday, May 5th at 11:59 p.m., I won't penalize you at all. Okay? And if you need even more time than that, just reach out to me and I'm glad to work with you. So in this video, I just want to give a quick rundown of my objectives and some thoughts on the project. Really what I'm interested in for this video is that you are able to understand the COVID data that's being tossed around by so many people, that you are able to model that data using linear, quadratic, and exponential regressions. Also then that you can predict future cases using the model. And then I have 3 extensions here, and I'll mention those at the end. Those are optional. If you haven't gotten your mini presentations, aka optional discussion post, done yet, this is another way that you'll be able to get those points. At this point, I would actually encourage you to pause the video and try to complete the project without watching the rest of the video. I've really tried to go through and be detailed and explain step by step, and I'm afraid just throwing all of the details at you in a 5-minute video is just going to overwhelm you and not really be that helpful. So my advice, stop the video, do the project. If you run into issues, then come back to this video and see if my explanation helps you through those issues. So, quick disclaimer here, you can read it. We're working with the confirmed cases, and those numbers are based on testing. And testing is misleading, okay? We haven't tested everyone in the world. If we did, then this would be pretty solid. The issue is a lot of people haven't been tested, and a lot of people that have COVID haven't been tested. So you can read this article. Just recognize our numbers we're working with are just confirmed cases numbers. They're not actual number of people who have COVID numbers. Those numbers in some places are very different. Alright, so first part, maybe I should have said this earlier. This is the instructions document. To actually turn in the data, you're going to go and turn in just 2 files. And those templates can be found at this link. So if you click on this link, it's going to open a shared Google Doc folder or Google Drive folder. And in that folder, you'll find all the files you need for this project. Here they come. If you look, it looks a little complicated in here because you're seeing mine. You won't have all these little tildes. But you've got a COVID project instruction document, COVID project template for your data, COVID project template. These 2 documents are the 2 documents you need to turn in Canvas to complete your project. Okay? And then below that you'll see there's data for the country, the U.S. counties and U.S. states, some information on regression equations for Desmos, and then some graphs for U.S., China, and Italy. So let's go back to the instructions. Basically, part 1, you answer some questions. This refers to the U.S., China, and Italy data, and making sure you understand what's going on with the data. In part 2, you're going to gather the data. You'll select the country, state, and county. If you click on this link, it'll take you to a little sign up. You just put your name next to the country you want to investigate and the state you want to investigate. I didn't say this, but the county is just your own county, whatever county you live in. Then you need to compile the data, and there's some detailed instructions here, and also a few video links to help you if you're having trouble with those instructions. But you're basically just going to get all the data into Excel. In part 3, then you're going to create scatter plots using Desmos. Okay, so desmos.com/calculator. And if we look, when you get done, it should look somewhat like this. Okay, where you have the data in the chart over here, and then you have the scatter plot here. And there's a few specific instructions there. If you need more help, feel free to reach out to me. The next part is going to be modeling the data using mathematics. First, you need to understand how to do regressions in Desmos. We did them on the calculator last week, but now we're going to do it in Desmos. And so just go through this. You're going to choose just one data set to work with. You don't have to do all 3 of your data sets. You don't have to do the US. You don't have to do the world. Just pick one. As long as it has more than 1,000 cases, you're set to go. And then watch this video on how to create a mathematical model for the data. By creating a mathematical model, I'm just saying come up with some equations that match the data points. Then you're going to use that mathematical model to predict future cases for the region you chose in part 4. Okay? And so June 1st and August 1st are the dates that I'm going to ask you to predict for. June 1st, I figured it up for you, is 153 days past January 1, and August 1st is 214 days past January 1. So hopefully that's helpful for you. In part 6 here, I'm going to ask you to predict the future for the world and US. So I am going to offer $5 gift cards again to whoever's closest on those dates. And I'm going to use this website at noon on those days for the official count for the contest. A quick note, I'm using this website because it matches the spreadsheet data I have. You might notice the COVID-19 data on StatNews doesn't quite match the data we have, but the Johns Hopkins University map, which you see here, does. So that's the one I'm going by. And then again, this prediction can be just as simple as kind of guessing 4 numbers and writing them down. I would encourage you, if you have more time or you're more interest, to actually use what you learned about modeling here to help you predict the world and US numbers in the future. So, and then I'm going to ask you to explain what you did there. Part 7, I just want you to explain what you've learned. Okay? And I really say here, be real. If somebody actually writes this, I stumbled through this project and managed to get this far, but I don't really know what I'm doing, I'll give you full credit for that section. I really am okay with that. I mean, I'm not really okay with it, but if that's what happened, that's what I want to know. Okay, I'm not going to penalize you for being truthful. And then there's these extensions. Again, if you haven't completed all your required discussion posts, you can post on one of these 3 topics. I'm actually going to paste in another link for this section to help you there too. So please let me know if you have any questions, run into any issues. Do be working on this. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Thanks a lot.